David, thank you for joining me today on Pop Culture Unplugged.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Exciting times. August 15th, Nobody 2. How excited about this? This is a cult show of us. People want to see more of these movies when they come out
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Super exciting. I'll be out tonight at midnight. So
tonight
yeah.
at midnight. So before we jump more into the movie and everything, your path as a stunt actor, how did that happen? How did you want to get into this field?
Well, I came to stunts fairly late. I've only been doing stunt work for, maybe the last 5 years or so. So I've been acting, since I was a child, went to theater school. So I've always sort of, been on that side of things. And then stunts just kind of, opened itself up to me, I guess you could say. I had a really good friend who was a stunt coordinator when I was living in Toronto. And I have a background in martial arts and dance and just a skill set that lends itself, toward that work. And it's usually exciting work, right? You're usually fighting, you
Yeah.
know, super cool A-listers, and yeah, you get to pretend to get beat up and fall down a lot.
Well, what kind of martial arts?
So primarily Taekwondo,
Okay.
but I've trained in Hapkido, a little bit of wushu, some kung fu, some boxing. Yeah, just a little bit of everything, but Taekwondo probably. Yeah.
My daughter does Taekwondo. That's why
Oh,
I
cool.
asked. Yeah, she's red belt.
WTF or ITF?
What's the
Is it
difference? I don't know the difference between those two.
is it full contact sparring like you see in the Olympics, or is it no contact?
No she could do contact classes, but she does a little bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
probably WTF. There's just two different federations in the world that
Yeah.
are, yeah. So I just curious.
Yeah. And she's only 10.
Great. That's
So
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
I think I started around 10. Yeah.
So yeah, she's competed a few tournaments and everything. I mean, she likes it so far. She hasn't mentioned anything about quitting, so we'll keep going as much as she does it.
As long as they don't want to quit, right? That's good.
Right. So you mentioned you train both in martial arts and dance. How have those two helped you now with your stunt style movement on screen?
So it's interesting. I think people would think that being a fighter, like say coming from MMA or boxing, would make you a really good stunt performer. And there are lots of real fighters that have transitioned into stunts. But I think that having a dance background, or at least some exposure to dance, is helpful because ultimately, what are we doing with a fight? It's just aggressive choreography,
Yeah.
right? You need to be able to learn your moves. You need to be able to repeat them. You need to be able to repeat them safely. So I think sort of the combination of training in martial arts and dance is very beneficial.
Now, for you as an actor, like when you audition for a role and everything, you get that role. If there's stunts involved, do you say I want to do it, or how does that work for like certain
Yeah,
projects?
so it really depends, Elias. So sometimes like a call will be put out where they're asking for stunt actors,
Okay.
or they'll just say, this is casting really quick because we have to double this person, blah, 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 blah. And if that conversation comes up, then my agent will just send along my stunt reel, kind of with it as sort of like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hey, you guys can save money,
Yeah.
by casting David. The main benefit of casting a stunt actor is it's cheaper for the production than having an actor and a stunt double,
Yeah.
right? So it's really a money saving thing, and it is very beneficial for the performer as well.
I was gonna say it's a bonus for you. You get the project and do a few things in there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, do you enjoy the stunt work, or is it like you said? You mentioned you've been in for like the last 5 years. Or would you want to like eventually lean away from that and focus more into acting?
Well, so acting is always my primary focus. With stunts, you're sort of forced out of it just by age.
Yeah.
So I'm turning 47 in December, and so I've got a couple, I've got a good more, couple more years. I'm fit, I'm healthy, I can handle it. But like once you get into your mid 50s, like I don't know if I want to be falling and hitting the concrete anymore
Yeah.
at that age. So it'd probably be naturally just kind of transition, away from it eventually.
So let's jump into Nobody too. Like, how did that come up for you? Was it audition? Somebody like, hey, we might have a role for you. How did this happen?
Yeah, so it was a bit of both. So Carmen Kodak, who's sort of the main casting director here in Winnipeg, she brought me in to read for something, which was this Toby role, super funny role. And then Rick Skeen, who was also the Canadian stunt coordinator on it, kind of called me and was like, "Hey, do you want me to? I'm thinking of putting you forward for this role. What do you think about that?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So it was kind of probably just a combination of of two people, kind of vouching for me.
Yeah.
So, and then I don't know if people know this, the productions are sort of behooved to hire locals because they get tax credits for that. So wherever a
Okay.
production is filming, if it's in Boston, if it's in Winnipeg, wherever it is, they want to hire a number of locals because it'll save them money. So it's
Mm.
it's actually it's good for them to do that. So and lucky for me because I live here. So
Yeah. Easy for you. So how
yeah.
does how does what was the description for Toby you were given?
Oh, you know what? That's really interesting. So the way that he was written, I believe one of the adjectives said that he was rotund. So he was Derek Kolstad, the writer, envisioned him as this really, really fat, kind of slovenly character. Um, I don't want to. I can't speak for any. I don't know if that's how I would be perceived. I don't think so. Right. So, um, obviously, I can't play that physical description. Um, excuse me. But he's very clearly this kind of wannabe cop, small town. I mean, he's an arcade. He's a security guard in an arcade. If
Yeah.
that doesn't give you all the information you need to know about this guy, I don't know what would. So. Um, but yeah, it's just a super funny interaction, with the family and with Bob. So yeah,
What was your first reaction like when you read the script and you learned like Toby's place in the story?
I can't remember if I got a full script for this or not. Um, so I knew, so the fight scene that I'm in is basically the inciting incident, right? This is sort of the thing that kind of launches us into the rest of the film.
Mm.
Uh, so I knew it happened fairly early on in the
Right.
script. But yeah, other than that, that's all I knew. The description, the fight scene, the scene. That's about it. Yeah.
Mm. So the first movie, nobody, right? It set a high bar, with all the action, everything you had there. How did you push Toby for to make it even better, more exciting for the scenes?
Yeah, right. So I don't have anything to do with that, but Timo Tjahjanto, obviously, who's the director, if you're familiar with any of his work, Shadow Strays, The Night Becomes Us, Big Four, he's known for sort of these like massive action heavy, but still story heavy movies as well. There was an article where Bob Odenkirk talked about that's why he sort of wanted to work with Timo on this movie with any sequel, of course, as you know, they have to sort of double down on what worked, right?
Yeah.
And as you said, nobody was received so well. Bit of a sleeper hit. I don't think they were expecting it to be, as big of a hit as it was. Thankfully, it was, so they could make the second one
Really?
here. But everything is just amped up on this. I don't know if you've seen any of the trailers that they put out. It's going to be nuts. Like our fight scene is probably the calmest of all of the fight scenes. And remember, I haven't seen this yet. So the
Okay.
premiere was a couple of days ago in LA. Comes out tonight at midnight. So I've read the full script now. Um, but yeah, there's going to be some just absolutely bonkers action.
So when you did this fight scene, like how many takes did it take, or how many practices did it take before you guys did the final shoot for that?
So this one, it was pretty quick. The action is like it's a pretty straightforward fight. I don't want to ruin anything. There's one gag that they're not showing in any of the trailers, so it'll be a bit of a surprise for everyone. That took a long time to set up, but otherwise it was pretty straightforward because it's only like what, maybe like 6 beats in terms
Mm.
of the actual fight itself. The cool thing about when you're shooting sort of on a mid-range budget thing. They have a bit more time to shoot, which means they can shoot more angles. They can
Yeah.
shoot more coverage. But Timo, he knows what he needs, right? And Bob is one of the producers. They know what they need to get in the can. So I think I've never been on like a Marvel set, but I did work in Reacher, and that was $100 million production. But still, even though they have all that money, they can't waste time. You still, have to kind of get your shots and
Yeah.
move on. No one's going, oh, we've got 3 hours left. Let's get, like 50 more
Yeah.
shots and stuff, right? But it didn't seem to take, any longer than it should have, which
Mm.
is good because also I'm falling down a lot, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. So like when you're doing like even not just even this movie, but like other things you've done, you ever like improvised a stunt or like a fight scene where it's been added on? Has that ever happened?
So no, like stuff gets built on the day.
Okay.
But you cannot improv in a fight scene. So it's just too dangerous, right? This is what I was saying before, sort of about being having a dance background is helpful in that
Yeah.
you need to learn the choreography. You need to be able to adjust when things are changed. But
Mm,
like if someone improvs something, that's when someone gets hurt. Like if you've seen any of the trailers, and this has been in multiple of these trailers, so this isn't a spoiler, but I get my face smashed into a pinball machine, right?
mm.
So that had to be very, very carefully choreographed, with the camera, with Bob who's doing the smashing and stuff. And so, yeah, thankfully, no, I haven't been in an improv fight situation.
For you, what do you think was like the biggest challenge for you with this movie? Any challenges?
I mean, listen, I'm a fan of film and TV and a fan of Bob specifically, so
Yeah.
probably just not uh just trying to play it cool,
Yeah.
right? Like it's so weird. Like I've been in the business now for over, 20 years, but your brain still goes, well, you see this guy on TV. You don't see him in real life, right? So of course, you play it cool. I'm still a professional. You get the job done, right? But there's that 10-year-old movie fan in you that's like, oh my God, like you're on a movie set. So that's always the challenge. But Bob's lovely and yeah, really easy to work with. So
Mm. So what's your goal next? Now you've done these action movies, everything. Is there a certain genre you want to try to do stunts or even just try to get a role in?
uh
I know you mentioned Marvel before, so
I mean, listen, man, getting to sign like a six picture contract. I mean, what actor wouldn't want to do
right.
that? Um, I haven't done a lot of work in like period dramas or like horror, so that could be potentially really interesting. I don't know if you're looking forward to seeing Weapons. It's coming out. I think it's out actually.
I think yeah, it's out.
Yeah, director of Barbarian. That should be wild. Um, but honestly, like there's something to learn from everything that you do, right? Um, I think what I would really like, I think what most actors would like is just longer contracts, right?
Mm.
Like there was that actress that you were talking to from Bosch, that's been on like 10 seasons, right? That would be really amazing to just be able to to live with a character for that long. That would really be something.
That's like it's a dream job, pretty much. Like you get that one role and you just want to be do it as long as you can until the fans get tired of it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And not only, just for the financial stability, right? But it's those reps of just being on camera all the time, like learning how to learn scenes, really, really quickly, learning the camera. It's really, really difficult in this job to get those 10,000 hours, right? And so something like that, I mean, that first season of filming, it's like, okay, there you go. Now you understand the process, right? Where generally as actors, we're just sort of putting that together, kind of piecemeal over time.
Did I read somewhere that you and a classmate had fought Bob?
Yeah.
Tell us a little
Yes.
bit about that.
Yeah, this is super cool. So, my friend Carson Natras, who is an actor as well, but he's actually the artistic director of Canada's longest running open air musical theater, like in
Okay.
the country. I think they Rainbow Stage. They've been running for like 75 years. Actually, I just saw Frozen last night at the theater there. So we went to theater school together. We went to the University of Alberta together, same class. And yeah, so I fight Bob in Nobody 2, and then Carson fights him in Normal, which is written by the same writer, Derek Kolstad, and comes out just right after, I think. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's wild. I
That's
mean, I can't.
yeah. So
That's one of those like trivia things, right? Like I
right.
gotta write some of
That
my professors and let them know about that.
right. And you fought two A-listers. I was told to ask you who hits harder.
Yeah. So I've had the pleasure of fighting Bob Odenkirk and Alan Richson, who of
Yeah.
course everyone knows plays Reacher. Thankfully, I can't answer that question because neither of them actually hit me. So I don't want to say. I mean, listen, Bob has been like everyone would say, oh,
Yeah.
Reacher probably hits harder, but Bob's been training like for 5 years consistently, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know who's to say.
Who's next on the list that you hope you fight? In a show, series, movie?
That's a great question. It would be really, really cool to have any kind of like screen time with someone like Donnie Yen.
Mm.
That would be super cool. Um, I wouldn't. It would have to be sort of in a stunt actor capacity because obviously he
Yeah.
could,
Yeah.
fight absolute circles around me. Um, but yeah, someone like that. So like one of the Hong Kong guys, that would be super
Mm.
cool. Yeah.
So now we have nobody to August 15th. What's next for you? Any other projects you're allowed to tell us about before we end this?
Yeah. So I was just a stunt performer in The Long Walk. That's the new
Okay.
Stephen King. It's coming out September 12th, I believe. Um, Amazing. It's amazing. Francis Lawrence directed this. He's incredible. Um, Wild to work with a director that he was wrapping us out by lunch. And if you have any experience sort of like working on set, getting wrapped out at lunch, like it just doesn't happen, right?
Mm.
Like you know you're going to be there for 12, if not 14 or 16 hours. But of course, he's got all this experience from Hunger Games, like these massive, massive, massive budget, massive cast, massive crew sets. So Long Walk, even though it's still a pretty large set cast wise, yeah, he was super efficient. But that's going to be a really cool one. And then I just shot on November 1963. So that's Roland Joffe's new movie. So that was cool. I think like getting to work with an Oscar nominated director. I think I'd have to double check if that's the first one I've worked with. But yeah, just the caliber of someone like that and who's been in the industry for as long as he had. Like he was nominated, I think, for an Oscar 35 years ago or something like that. So um yeah, but that's it. I've just otherwise just in the trenches, still
But
auditioning.
you've been busy, which is good.
Yeah, this I had a lot of stuff come out this summer. Last year was a particularly good year for me. So yeah, just really hoping that I mean, listen, everybody's hoping that
Yeah.
things are going to pick up. No one knows what this new normal is supposed to look like, but there's such a confluence of factors that are sort of affecting the industry right now. So yeah, I guess we'll see. So
Amazing. David, I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes today. Good luck with the film. Good luck with future projects. And let's do another chat down the road.
yeah, thanks, man. Looking forward to
Thank
it.
you.